Well, this is awkward. It's been a while that I've been on here, and I don't know how many people are really going to see this, but I just realized the lighting and the angle is horrible because I've got my light on in the back, but I'm really too lazy to move at the moment. Hi to the one person that is watching this right now. I'm going to. Oh, no, they're gone. Never mind. Okay, I'm going to attempt to fix this, and to be honest, like I said, I don't know if anyone's really gonna see this or really give a shit, but I have done nothing with my day, and coming on live for some reason feels like it's a great fucking idea. So here we are, hoping to, I don't know, talk to someone who actually comes on. But yeah, I'm just gonna start rambling because I don't know, I don't really have the energy to make videos at the moment. Videos are really tiring to make in for me, mainly because I have to go through a lot of steps to actually get the video onto my laptop, and the thing is I don't like editing on my phone. So with that being said, it is quite tedious work, and at the moment I'm really drained from working because it's school holidays. I'm trying to rack up as many hours as I can before I go back to school next week, and going back to school means hey welcome. I miss you so much. Yeah. But yeah, going back to school really means that I will lose a lot of work hours because on my work permit, I can legally work about 10 to 15 hours a week, like Monday to Friday. And then weekends, I can work like unrestricted hours. And then the holidays is also unrestricted. So yeah, it's quite hard to work during the school semester because I'm doing 19 credits this semester. 19 credits is like 8 subjects. So I've got three 8-hour classes. Not 8 hours. Three 3-hour classes, and the rest are all 2-hour classes. 4 being major classes, which are in Korean. So I'm gonna be hustling my ass to get that 4.0 GPA. Hopefully, doubt I'll get a 4.0, but we're gonna try and get past the 3.5, which I'm currently at because I put in like half an effort the last semester, I guess, purely because Jin helped me get my medication for ADHD, and it's been an absolute roller coaster the last couple of months, and that's kind of why I haven't really uploaded on YouTube at all because honest to God, it's been so hard trying to understand what's going through my brain and my body because I've also been having internal infections because the stress is getting to me. But yeah, like it sounds like a sob story. Like it sounds really tragic and unfortunate, but like, things happen. These are all normal things to happen in university. So like I don't want anyone to feel like, "Oh my god, like why is your life so shit right now?" Like it happens. And yeah, Jin left Korea um on the 4th of August, so it's been over 2 weeks since he's left, and it's kind of been hard because, like, he would pick me up from work when I say, like, "Oh, it's been a hard day," and he would just, like, rock up and pick me up, and, that would always make my day better, but, like, it's quite hard now because the only time I really get to interact with him in that sense is, like, when he's awake because he's 14 hours behind me in Missouri. So, yeah, he's, like, basically waking up soon-ish right now. And today is my day off. I literally have not done shit. Um, I've been a bed seal the whole day, just messaging people whenever. I even called my parents. I FaceTimed my parents for an hour. That is how bored I am. And basically, if you know me and like kind of the basis of what my family construct is like, we, for the love of God, do not really commute very well. We do not communicate very well. So talking to them for an hour on FaceTime is something. I have to be really bored to try and keep a FaceTime with them going for that long. But yeah, they're still in lockdown. We're not in lockdown. We're in some because we were going from the 2-person per table rule from like 6 p.m. onwards to now being like, oh yeah, everyone can sit together as long as like half the table is vaccinated. I'm like, okay. and now we turn customers away because it's starting soon, basically, right? Basically, we have to turn away customers if they don't have their vaccination card because it won't work the same way. So, yeah, like it's going to get tiring ish, but also we're predicting slow movements for work. So, I'm going to have some boring time. So, if anyone is in Poundtech, and want to come hang out, like, come to my work, you know? Yeah, like I said, I really didn't fucking plan this. I didn't actually think I would actually do this because I've been like putting off everything. I was supposed to make apple pie today. It's 9 p.m. I haven't made apple pie. I have barely left my bed. And purely because I don't know, I just really don't want to move. I have no motivation. I have no nothing. But I've also made a video on my TikTok that I'm kind of editing at the moment. And it's talking about my GoFundMe link. I haven't really linked it on my YouTube, but it's linked in my link tree on my TikTok. Basically, the cat's out of the bag, I guess. Is that the saying? I don't remember. But yeah, like basically, cat's out of the bag. Your girl is hella broke. Okay, I don't mean to say it like that. I'm just saying like my savings have fully dried up, and even though I'm working at the moment, it's not quite possible for me to have the adequate amount of funds to pay for tuition because my working permit's only like 10-15 hours a week, so I realistically won't have a decent amount of income for that. So I have made a GoFundMe for anyone that wants to help out because I would really love to go back to training. Currently, I haven't been training because I cannot afford to go to training. I cannot afford to pay for training. So hopefully, with saving up from work, and paying stuff, working more on my platforms, hopefully, just having this medication and putting my life into like an actual schedule in a sense might help me figure out this because personally, I found that odd numbered years actually go in my favor more than even numbered years. I know that's really weird, but all I'm saying is like every year that's been odd numbers, my life has not been like ridiculous. Any other years that have been like even numbers, my life has really been like someone's been sticking pins into my boot or something like that. So yeah, I kind of want to get things settled properly before the even number year rolls in next year. And it's the end of August, so it's also close to my birthday. Literally 1 month from now, I will be celebrating my 23rd birthday. And 23 years on this earth sounds pretty crazy to me because, like, when I was 18, since I was very young, but 16 to 18 was quite hard. But around that time was also when I was having real bad thoughts. And putting this on the internet is something that I didn't really think I would do either, but I somehow got the courage, the balls to really say these things, and yeah, like here we are. I don't fucking know. My brain is in a mess. I think it's because I took a the full sleeping pill last night instead of a half pill, which I really shouldn't do full pills anymore. I should really start cutting them again. But yeah, like that's my thought process right now. Like my brain really is not all together. And like I'm taking my medication on time. I'm trying to get into a proper sleeping pattern during the holidays, and it gets quite hard sometimes because I just don't really stick to it because touch it or see it or physically do anything like that. It is really hard for me to stick to time or understand time. And that is something that my psychiatrist told me that would be like something for the rest of my life essentially because I can't learn audibly. I have to learn visually. I need something physically in front of me, and time not necessarily is physically in front of me all the time because you have a clock, but it's not the time concept is physically in front of me. Does that make sense? Like, it didn't make sense to me, but like Jin explained it, and that made sense to me. Like, that kind of made sense, I guess. I think that's why I enjoy cooking so much because I have to physically see and touch all these things and I have to physically do it. And that's why I like it. Whereas with editing at times, physically I'm not touching a lot of the editing. I'm just doing it on my computer. So at the same time, like I don't feel like I'm physically doing, so I physically don't want to do it. Physically can't find the motivation to do it either. And for me, I lose interest in a lot of things. I've mentioned this before, like I have a rolling cycle of different like was it different hobbies at different cycles because I just lose interest with my own hobbies and they're my hobbies. So when someone's like, "Oh, what's your hobby?" I'm like, "Do I tell them what it currently is or do I tell them what I actually enjoy?" Because there's too fucking many here. I just normally tell people I eat and sleep. That's really my hobbies because those are things that I somehow seemingly enjoy the most and continually doing because I sleep a lot because of depression, duh, and I eat a lot because trauma with food, duh. So yeah, like I'm a really fucked up person in this sense, and it is 9 o'clock at night, and it's the first adulting or human thing I'm actually doing. So yeah, I'm really sorry that you stumbled onto this ramble, but yeah, currently I'm trying to find motivation to going back to a lot of my hobbies, like painting stuff. I had a series planned to make paintings for my friends and send them back to Australia, but at the moment I have barely started the paintings, if that makes sense. Like, I've painted some, but they're not really the opening for my series that I want. So I'm trying to find motivation to go back to painting and doing that proper thing to start it. I have a shit ton of clothes from Jin that I am supposed to um, alterate and then make it a series of learning how to alter clothes properly. Which I've made a couple of pieces. I didn't film them. I made a couple of pieces and then I literally haven't fucking touched the rest of it. It's all in my closet, like building up because he's sent me so much. Um, Cooking, I really haven't done that much of it because I've just been at work and I just buy food on the way to work, which if you're trying to save money is not a good idea, right? So that's not smart. But yeah, I've been eating a lot of dry goods, really, because I've just been so tired. I get home from work, I eat maybe half of my staff meal, I throw it in the fridge, then I warm it up and eat it the next day, basically. So I really have just been like going to and from work. It's been a very depressing cycle in that sense for me as well. And I'm really tired. And I think that's why my medication isn't working as well as it did before. Um, but we will see how this goes because I'm only doing a 1 month cycle for this medication to see how I will go. My next appointment for my psychiatrist is the 10th of September, so we're gonna see how that goes. Um, on the plus side, I recently got my laptop fixed, so I am no longer, I am no longer looking at you guys on a black bar across the top of my laptop screen. I can look at you as the whole glory of my laptop screen, which is nice. So I'm really thankful for everyone who helped me fix my laptop. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys for helping me out, and just everyone in general that's tried to make my situation a lot better. I've been receiving a lot of messages and comments and just a lot of supportive stuff. So I'm really grateful for everyone. And I'm trying my best. But there are days where I'm just really tired and just really lethargic and can't really do a lot of the things that I want to do. I make plans for the day the night before and go, yeah, I'm gonna clean my bathroom, I'm gonna clean the back room, I'm gonna clear the fridge, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. Come waking time, I take my morning medications and then I sit down and there's no motivation. I ended up just scrolling through TikTok for the whole day, reading new series of manga, getting frustrated that they're not ended yet, and then just not really eat either because I just don't have the motivation to get out of bed and make food until I'm painfully hungry. And recently, I've come to the realization that I have a very bad relationship with food, mainly because of the trauma from my extreme dieting when I was competing. And a lot of people can say, like, oh, that's purely your fault. And yeah, I admit that, like, I had a very unhealthy relationship with food during my training times, and now as someone who's not training and competing as competitively as back then, it's pretty damaging. Um, I have lost a lot of weight. And it's pretty bad because at one stage I really wasn't eating. I was eating like small meals during the day, or I wouldn't eat all day. And a lot of people were getting worried. And then I did get an infection internally because I wasn't eating or drinking properly. And yeah, from there it just got pretty bad. I now have a different kind of infection, and I was really scared and awkward to go to the doctor about it because it was in a very private area. And the reason why I'm talking about it on here is A, I don't know where the fuck my brain and conversation is really going. And B, I just feel like we shouldn't feel so awkward about it now because a lot of these infections can lead to fatal things, as I've read online and seen a lot of stories for some reason. And a lot of us are raised in an environment where we have to feel very awkward when we talk about these things with the doctor, even though it is literally their job for us to talk about these things with them. Like, you have an infection, you need to see the doctor to get the right medicine for you, but you're feeling really awkward, so you leave it to a point where it gets really bad and you're like, fuck. So I I talked to Jin. Jin was like, listen, I've done the same thing. Like, it's really not that bad. Just go and talk to a medical practitioner and they will help you. They won't judge you. Like, and I was like, okay. I went, I talked to someone, and then they were like, oh, yeah, here's some pills. By the way, the pills are massive. Like, I was terrified. But it is helping. So I hope if anyone sees this and is in a similar situation, like, I know it's really awkward and we're raised to not talk about these things with strangers except for our parents in that sense, like specifically your mom or your dad, depending what gender you are. Um, yeah, like it's really not as bad as we internally think, and the anxiety and the overthinking makes it worse. But at the end of the day, if we don't do something, it's going to get much worse and it could lead to worse situations. Um, so yeah, that's kind of a little update. I don't know what else to say, but my dad. Oh, actually, when I FaceTime my parents, my dad's beard is growing spectacular. It's magnificent. I'm actually thoroughly impressed. My dad, because we always make the joke, like, Dad, you can't grow hair, but you can grow a beard. And it's pretty funny. But we all laugh at it, and no one's actually heard about this, so don't come screaming at me. But yeah, my brother's also growing a beard. Freaking looks like a mountain goat right now. Um, so yeah, that's pretty interesting because everyone's like Asians can't grow beards, and then I'm like, my brother who is 19 is growing a huge fucking beard. Like, it's actually impressive to me because like he's legit got like a structure on his beard. Like it's legitimately growing like here, like all the way around. It's actually full. Like it's fucking woolly. It's not patchy. And then he's got like a bit here, but like it's just fucking glorious. Um, but yeah, I screamed like what the fuck on the phone, and my brother laughed, and my parents are like laughing too. And I was like, wow, it's the first time I've not been yelled at for saying what the fuck. Yeah, I feel this is really random, and anyone that's watching this right now, I'm so sorry for wasting your time, but I just have a lot of things in my brain that I want to say, and it's kind of weird to throw it onto TikTok, so I'm just doing lives and essentially talking to myself or one person who is watching actively. So I appreciate you, the one person. I don't know if this is still my friend Leanne or if it's someone else, but I really appreciate you. I just like I hope, I can do something with my platforms. Like, I have followers, I have supporters, I have friends, and it's like, what am I really doing with these platforms right now? Like, I have a steady base. Like, I should really do something. But, a lot of the times I just feel so tired to do anything, and it's natural when you're taking a lot of medication, and there is a chemical imbalance in my brain at the same time. And just being diagnosed with ADHD recently, like it's been a couple months, but it's still pretty recent, and I'm still trying to find the medication. So my body and my brain aren't really going to be working at the same time because we're trying to correct this imbalance and we're trying to find the medicine to fix this or at least help it the best it can. And recovery is a long journey. It's not that fast. And I have to constantly remind myself of this because I constantly keep expecting something to happen right now or something to miraculously be over. But it's not. Like I will not be able to just magically function straight away. Even though I would really like to function straight away, but it is what it is. And as much as the saying is kind of weird, it it really is. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the night. Maybe go TikTok live. I have nothing else to do with my time. At this point in time, it is just ramble on. Yes, I knew you were still here. But yeah, Nian always listens to me. She's my best roommate. Please come back. Ah, I love my current roommate. I really do. She's really nice and everything. But like, you miss that bond where you have with your like first roommate that you like fucking bonded with. Like, I really fucking miss my roommate. Please come back. I miss you. I will be here for 3 more years, hopefully. So like, yeah, please come back. Ah, I mean, yeah, it's just interesting that I've been here almost 2 years now. I haven't seen my friends or family physically, and it's getting to me a little bit. I'm not a sentimental person, realistically. Like, I keep photographs and like I keep photos and stuff like that, but at the same time, like, I'm not someone that's like, oh my god, I need my family to like survive. I'm just someone that's like, damn, I haven't seen these people in a long time. It feels fucking weird. Like, can I go home for the comfort of it? But I'm also someone that's like, shit, I shouldn't go back now because then that's admitting defeat and I can't do that. So yeah. It's a really wild cycle in my brain. As you can tell, it's fucking unhinged. And this is pretty much my brain every other day. So when people are like, oh, it's just in your head, you'll figure it out. Your brain will work properly once you figure yourself out. No, this is me on medication still, and I still can't get a hold of myself. And like, one of my professors was like to me, oh, you're not, how do you say it? Like, you're not special. Like, you know, if you don't like the way it's here, like, go back to your own country. Like, he's like, oh, I also have a disability. Like, that doesn't make you any better than I am. And I was like, so I'm not trying to invalidate your struggles, your life struggles. I personally do not know your life story. And like, props to you for being a professor with a disability. Like, something that's mental, I assume, because you are not physically disabled. And at the same time, like, props to you, like I said, for being a professor and doing all this. However, I'm not trying to invalidate your struggles. I'm not trying to ask for special treatment or anything like that. Legally, I'm obliged to tell you that I am going to be on a shit ton of medication, multiple cycles, different stuff. I'm going to be reacting to it differently, and you need to know this because you are my teacher and I'm taking your classes. So legally, you are supposed to know this. And whether you choose to believe it or not, I have evidence and certificates from the doctor to show you this. And man was just like, yeah, well, the other foreigners in the course are fine. And I was like, yeah, the other foreigners are fine, mainly because their situation is very different to mine. Some of them have parents who are helping them out, and my parents are/were helping me, but COVID, they're in a full COVID lockdown. They're losing a lot of money, and they have mortgage and bills to pay and two brothers to take care of. So it's not something that I can be just like, hey, listen, can you guys just pay for my entire education like this? So right now, like, prospectively, I just looked at him and I was like, so you're a fucking idiot. And Jin really called him out on it. Jin was like, listen, you can't compare her to other foreigners because other foreigners have different situations and it's not right that you do this. And the man got so flustered that he didn't know what to say. So he started lecturing Jin about like the class content. He was telling him about like different injuries. And Jin's like, what the fuck? And I was like, And so we made sure to not take any of his classes if I didn't have to this semester. And thankfully we didn't. Thankfully all my major classes are taken by other professors. And the only class I have to take of his is a compulsory class that we have, and he's the teacher for it. So I cannot really argue with that. But if I really cannot stand him, I can, apply to get moved. But right now it's not a big issue because everything's like online. But yeah, like it's kind of the whole thing. I'm just really mentally fucked up and tired and just really don't know where to do and start things. Semester starts next week. I have to figure it out, figure things out because the first week is offline for some reason. And then afterwards, the following weeks from 2 to 5 will most likely be online unless it's a practical class. So I'm just trying to figure out which ones are practicals and which ones are theory classes. So that's also very fun. Um, and also, I have to make sure I go to my vaccination, which is on the 23rd of September, which is the day before my birthday. Um, and your girl is most likely going to be feeling side effects because I am always the one that hits the side effects the worst for some reason. So yeah, I know I'm gonna get side effects, and I have to go to work that day, the day after. Sorry. So the day of I'm is my day off, but the day the day after is my day at work. So we're gonna see how this goes. But yeah, I don't know how it's really gonna work. Um, but yeah, we're gonna see how this shitstorm goes, I guess. I'm just really tired. I really am. My dreams are confusing because of the sleeping medication. They make my dreams really vivid, like as if I actually lived through them. And when I wake up, I get really confused because I'm like, did that actually happen or is that a dream? Um, and my body is always very sore because I'm obviously twisting and turning in my sleep, not sleeping properly. So I might have to switch sleeping medications again. I'm not sure. Like the thing is, it's just really confusing for me, and I really miss having Jin with me. But hopefully he'll be back in time for Christmas. And then once he's back for Christmas, I will smother the living daylights out of the kid. Yeah, and then he will be enrolling to do military, which means he will be in Korea for 2 years, or it's like 1.8 years, but about 2 years. He'll be in Korea, but I won't get to see him as often because military, but we will see which military post he gets sent to. And yeah, this is pretty much what I have to say, I guess. I don't know. I'm just really, like I said the last 800 times on this live, I'm really tired. And my brain's just short circuiting at this point. Yeah, I'm really drained. Uh, it's hard. It's hard to describe the internal monologues that I have. Like, I was debating a long time, for a very long time, whether or not I should post the GoFundMe and make it a bit more public. Making it took a long time too, to be honest. I was debating myself, but someone donated $900 to me, and I'm really thankful for that person because they were able to help out with a lot of my bills, and just help me in a lot of ways that they didn't even know they did. So yeah, I'm really thankful to that person. Thank you. And I just hope that, things will get a little bit easier where I don't feel like I'm dragging along 80 tons of bricks or something mentally and physically, and just have things work out a little bit better. Because to be honest with you, everything has not worked to plan, to whatever the fuck I planned for. Um, but that's also mainly because of, COVID. But I think a lot of the things that happened is I underestimated living alone, not living, like, being alone in another country, but also just like the responsibilities you have. Because like I obviously didn't underestimate the thing where it's like, oh, you have to pay bills, you have to work, blah blah. Like that's completely normal. But it's more so like how draining it is for you alone. And in a country where I don't speak the language, it makes it a lot harder mentally for me. Because, some people treat me like an idiot because I really can't speak that much Korean. And I'm like, oh, if you heard me in like English or Cantonese or Mandarin, like, you know how smart I am. Like, But at the end of the day, I'm in a foreign country and I should be studying harder on the language. But it's also like finding the motivation to sit down and study. It's like, yeah, there's no such thing as motivation in my head or body most of the time. And yeah, I only just barely fed myself today, barely, because I had no motivation to get up and do anything. Right now, I just want to sleep. I actually fell asleep with a foot mask on last night. You know, one of those little plastic bags and you put your feet into them. Yeah, I fell asleep with one of them on. You're only supposed to keep it on for an hour and a half, so like 90 minutes. And I put it on around 11:30. I woke up at 4:30 a.m. to take it off and wash my feet because the serum has literally made my feet dry. Like it was wrinkly. And I was like, holy shit, like, am I gonna lose the epidermis of my feet now? We will see in a few days when it starts peeling or if it doesn't peel at all because, I definitely fucked up that foot mask there. And that's fun. So much fun. But yeah, for now, I think I will end this live because I have nothing else to say and nothing to contribute to society with this. It was fun talking to my friend Nian as she listens to me live. And yeah, I hope whoever ends up watching this, if you watch this far, I applaud you. Like, man, you must be more bored than I am. Like, geez. But yeah. I'll catch you in my upcoming ADHD video once I finish sorting out all the questions and information that I need to give you guys. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have much else to say. I just hope you have a wonderful day, night, week, and until I see you again soon, don't forget to smile. Bye.